look at the Zelos Swordfish in stainless steel with a white dial. This is the white sand dial. It is fully loomed. And we have a stainless steel fully loomed bezel. So this is the Swordfish that you already know. I've just recently reviewed the bronze version of this. The only difference is, obviously, this is a stainless steel and it comes on a bracelet. So why is this a version 2? So Elshan said that he heard our complaints about the finishing on the case and the bracelet in particular, the finishing on the bracelet and the clasp. The previous clasp was a very clumsy, very, very sharp hunk of metal that was quite large on the back of the watch. The diver's extension really was kind of crazy. It didn't really work, and when you extended it, it was so sharp, it really was just not usable. And also, all the edges on the bracelet were sharp as well. And what they've done now is they've polished this edge. They've polished the links much better to a standard that I would say is pretty good, actually. And they designed this clasp for Zelos specifically. And they've added some good detail, and there's just a little bit of micro adjust here. But there is one major flaw with this, and we will get back to that later on in the video. So the watch is great. It's great 42 millimeters. If you're a Loom lover, this watch is insane. I'll put up a Loom video right at the end. The Loom on this watch really does light up the room. It's incredible. The Loom bezel is great. If you like that stainless steel, it looks really great. It has great action. You could hear that click. We have a screw down crown, which is also signed by Zelos. They even improved the finishing on the case back. Again, the case back is kind of unadorned. It gives you a little bit of the specs of the watch, but other than that, you know, sapphire crystal, 300 meters, 316 stainless steel, and then it's this is 144 out of 200, so this is limited to 200. I still don't like the hands. Obviously, that doesn't change. They are stainless steel to match the rest of the case. They're polished. Really, there's not that many other polished edges here, so it doesn't match that great. I still like that red blip on the second hands because it matches the little red lettering underneath automatic on the dial. Now, that's what I like about this watch, and I've always liked that about the Swordfish. I do think it's a little bit thick. Like I've mentioned, 300 meters is a little much. I still, like I said, don't like the hands. One issue that I found about this watch is that this white dial with white loom, and then the sandwich is also sort of like a whitish cream color. It's kind of washed out, and if I had to buy another one of these, I would not want the stainless steel bezel insert, again, because I feel like it's a little bit washed out. It's very, very white. And it is a Loom monster, and I guess the reason why you would buy it is because you really love Loom, but that's my other gripe. However, you know, great watch. Stainless steel, sports watch with the sapphire crystal, automatic, Japanese, Seiko movement. You can't really go wrong at $300. It comes with an extra strap. It comes in that really cool watch roll with a cigar box. You know, you're getting a lot for your money, $299 as the initial price. Now, what's the major flaw here? There is a major flaw. If you see here, what they've done, what Elshan did here is he redesigned this clasp. But what he did is he designed it so that it's much shorter and you don't have any diver's extension. What that does is it creates a problem for people who have large hands, and I have large hands. So I have my Omega on today, my Planet Ocean, and this has that same issue. It has a very short clasp. As you can see here, it's almost the same length as the Zelos, and I really can't. It's very difficult for me to get it off and on. However, it does have a diver's extension, so I will pop that, and it's easier for me to get back on my wrist, and then I'll close the diver's extension first, and then close the clasp, and it's on my wrist. I have my SBDC061. You can see the scissor here is much longer than the Zelos. So even though the clasps themselves are almost the same size, even though the Seiko is a little bit bigger, the scissor is way shorter on the Zelos. So what happens is, this is open, and if I try, this is fitted to my wrist. If I try to get this on, it is literally impossible. I can't get it on. It will take me another 5 minutes to get this on, because I have to squeeze it down millimeter by millimeter. And if my hands are a little bit swollen, it's not getting on. And this is fitted to my wrist. Actually a little bit loose to my wrist. So I can't wear this watch. And that's a big flaw. If I need to take off the watch, I can't. And I know a lot of other people are experiencing this, because I did my unboxing about a week ago, and I immediately found this issue when I tried to size it after the video. And then I went onto Facebook into the Zelos group on Facebook, and I realized that a lot of other people who are receiving this watch are complaining about the exact thing that I'm complaining about. So if you're going to buy this watch and you have a large hand, it's almost impossible to get it over your hand. And I believe that even if you have a small wrist and a small hand, as long as your hand is too big for the size that you have the watch, you're not going to be able to get this watch on. And like I said, I have an 8-inch wrist. I don't have giant hands, but I cannot get this on. It's easier to get off once I do get it on, but it is really hard to get on. You could see I am forcing this down, and I can't get it on. So that's the major issue. And you can see here, like I said, this is sized exactly the same for my wrist, and it doesn't have the diver's extension open, and it goes right over because you have such a bigger clasp. And you can see it actually hangs over, the scissor part hangs over where the clasp is. So that's why it works. Anyway, it is a great watch if it works for you. It unfortunately does not work for me. So anyway, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Put a comment below if you bought this watch and you're having that same issue. Is there a solution? I don't think so. The only way you can do it is taking the bracelet out of the micro adjust and putting it back on your. It's impossible. You can't do it. Anyway, please throw a comment below. Let me know what you think. Thanks again.